In this piece, the producer wanted me to draw parallels between the tragedies of September 11th and Pearl Harbor. It's the Navy's birthday, and we're here at the Navy Museum in Washington, D.C., which is a great place to come and reflect on our Navy's history. The museum's exhibit on Pearl Harbor seems especially timely right now in the wake of recent events. It reminds us that tragedies sometimes do occur, but that the Navy and the nation will pull together and persevere.
So we were expecting trouble. We were expecting perhaps that we would be drawn into war, but we thought it would start overseas, that neither the Germans or the Japanese would be audacious enough to actually attack American soil. If they're audacious enough to attack our bastion at Pearl Harbor, they could attack our west coast. So yes, the American public and military was very shooken up and very concerned about our security.
In this story on the Thrift Savings Plan, the producer asked me for some snazzy graphics, something less boring than banking B-roll. The G Fund invests in government securities and has a low risk. The F Fund purchases bonds and has more moderate returns. The C Fund buys large company stocks and is a higher risk investment. The same can be said for the S Fund, which invests in small and medium-sized company stocks, and the I Fund, which is an international company stock fund. While your investment is not without some risk,
the money is deducted from your pay before taxes are deducted from your pay. And so it reduces your overall taxable income. Okay, that's the first tax benefit, is it reduces your overall taxable income.
the club drug ecstasy was becoming a problem for the Navy, so they asked me for a piece explaining the legal ramifications of doing drugs. From the greenest recruit to the saltiest Master Chief, every service member is informed of the military's drug policy, zero tolerance.
If you're looking at people working on a flight deck that are not all with it, there's a lot of things up there that you can get hurt, whether you get blown off the deck, whether you walk into props, get sucked into intakes, but it's definitely a safety issue.
That point was driven home in 1981 when a plane crash aboard the USS Nimitz took the lives of 14 sailors and Marines.
The priority of the Drug Detection and Deterrence Branch is to help educate sailors and Marines to make the right choices.
Don't do it. For one thing, it ruins your career. If that's what you intend on doing, it ruins your life. It ruins your family life. You know, we're talking now in the Navy about family being part of our journey. And, you know, you do drugs, you're not only hurting yourself, but your shipmates, you're hurting your family, and you're hurting your friends.
I'm Petty Officer Robin Strum-Mackey, Navy Marine Corps News. The base in Great Lakes, Illinois was celebrating its 90th birthday, and they asked me for a piece delineating the history of the base. Although far from any ocean, NTC Great Lakes has long stood as an icon of naval innovation. Perhaps it's because of the base's auspicious beginnings. Former President Theodore Roosevelt wanted Great Lakes to be a basic training command, the very first basic training command in the Navy. With Roosevelt's full support, ground was broken in 1905. It has, in its 90th year, become a true landmark to naval ingenuity. I'm Petty Officer Robin Strum-Mackey, Navy Marine Corps News. Daily News Update is a program of 1- and 2-minute news segments that I anchored. This is a Daily News special. I'm Petty Officer Robin Strum. More on the attacks in the U.S. today. The explosion earlier today at the Pentagon has caused a part of that building to collapse, and both towers of the World Trade Center have collapsed as a result of the attacks there. Atlantic Fleet Commander Admiral Robert Natter has placed the U.S. Atlantic Fleet at an increased security posture as a preventive measure. United in Memory was the theme of Thursday's memorial service held at the Pentagon. A large crowd gathered as President Bush honored the 189 victims killed in the attack. Missile and airstrikes against Taliban-held targets in Afghanistan continued overnight and into today.
Navy strike aircraft from USS Carl Vinson and USS Enterprise participated in the strikes to refugees within Afghanistan. This has been a Daily News Update. I'm Petty Officer Robin Strum in Washington.
And that about sums it up. Following this is the full-length feature story, Pearl Harbor, and a Daily News Update. Thanks for watching.